What we told people for the longest time is that we met in the produce section of Whole Foods. But we actually met on an app that rhymes with binder. Never thought that we would meet on an app like that, but I'm so glad that we did.
I get to his house, I turn down the street, and I see him in the driveway, and I'm like looking at him like, oh my gosh, he's
I was throwing
so
garbage
hot.
away. I wasn't like intentionally in the driveway so that you could see me when you pulled in, but I was throwing garbage away to make the house clean and perfect.
Remember the Lululemon shorts he was wearing, and I was like, oh my god, he's so hot. Like I literally drove past.
He drove past the house. Yeah.
I had to like back up and like come back.
And I was like, I think that's him. So then I scurried back in the house so that I wasn't like that sketchy guy like in the driveway waiting for this like 12 o'clock date. Yeah. We were supposed to watch a movie, but we ended up sitting there for 4 hours and just went through.
We talked about our past. We talked about wanting kids.
Yeah, exactly. What we were looking for in someone, and yeah.
Before I left, he like straight from a movie, like he picked me up and put me against the door and like kissed me, and I was just like, I kind of walked out of the house. I was walking back to my car, I touched my lips, and I was like, please God, like let him like me, because I think I'm gonna marry this man. We
instantly connected, and we said we loved each other after 3 days. He had a key to my house after 5 days. And we got engaged after 5 months, and we were married 13 months after we met. So it was very quick, but I think when you know, you know. So I owned a house when we first met, and after we got married, we knew that we wanted to expand our family and adopt. And so we knew that we had built a bunch of equity in our house just based on the market, and you know, we knew adoption was expensive and that we would need a lot of capital to do that. And so we said, let's list our house, let's take some of that equity out of the house, and let's put it towards what's really important to us. And so we did that. We listed our home, and then like that following weekend we had a ton of activity, and everyone was just loving our house and the decorations.
Like a bidding war.
Bidding war. We sold it, and we knew that like, if people love what we're doing, like let's capitalize on the market. So we bought a fixer-upper. We ended up flipping that home, and I think we bought in April, and then we sold in September of that same year, so 4 months later.
And during this whole time, we had started the adoption process.
We're connected with the birth mother, and she gave birth at the end of May, and then our daughter was born. And June 27th, it was her due date, and she came May 25th, so she came 5 weeks early.
She was born on methadone. So they had to wean her off of that.
So she was in the NICU for 10 days before we leave the hospital. And when we came back with her 2 weeks after she was born, we were in our new house, which was in the middle of a renovation. So we didn't have floors, we didn't have a kitchen, we didn't have anything. We were literally like, what do we do? We've overdone it, you know what I mean? We've done too much. We had one room that was pretty much done. So we put her in that room, and then during the day, we just
The only reason we went in that room was to go see the baby, and then we had like all of our wine stored in that room, so I would just go drink out of the bottle because it was so chaotic.
With a different agency the second time around, and they had told us when we first met them, they're like, oh, you guys are gonna play so quickly.
Gay men fly off the shelf.
Gay couples fly off the shelf.
You heard that before.
We're like, whatever. I got a phone call, and it was from a number that wasn't stored on my phone, and so I thought that it was just someone who's interested in looking at our house. Well, no, it was an adoption agency telling us that the birth mother had selected us to be the fathers of her boy that was due in 5 weeks. When Micah was born, we had already sold our last house, and we had bought this house, but we hadn't moved in here yet. And so when he came home with us, we moved all of our stuff that day here. So we moved with 2 kids under the age of 1, under the age of 10 months.
And this is our 5th home since April of 2015.
So 5th home, 3 dogs, 2 babies.
It definitely has its days where it's super hard and super frustrating, and they both start crying. I don't know why they're crying, and like I'll go to the bathroom and cry, and I'm like, I don't know why they're crying, like they won't stop, like what's going on?
Yeah, and then like our daughter will look at us and say, Dad, and you're just like, like that's the best thing you've ever heard in your entire life. So.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about Joey now that we have kids is just seeing him as a father. I mean, he's like literally the best dad, and I mean that truly. He's so wonderful with them, with the kids. No. I mean, he really is. I mean, I'm very lucky to have a partner like him with the kids. So, yeah. Don't cry.
Sorry. What I love most about Josh is like, from day one, he's not wanting to change me at all. Like, he's accepted me for all my flaws, all my shortcomings, and he has had my back no matter what. And to see him when he gets up so early in the morning so he can spend as much time with our children as possible, like he'll come home and the smile on their faces when they see their father is just, it makes my heart melt every single day. And he would do anything for us.